Trapper Type at NT and the Trap News Network. Back in the same. Like, crack in the same, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for more of this good content we got going on here at 10 and Trap News Network. Good news you can use. Good knowledge, though. You ain't finna get nobody's collar, G, though. Tap in with that tap in and make sure you are, in fact, tapped in with that good tap in. You feel me? Hit that notification bell. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that good subscribe button. Man at the Garden Freestyle, RichTrapHouse.com. Get into all that if you ain't got into that. We finna slide over here to the Adam and Rat Run Hunter show where I gotta say it every time I see it, man. How are you wearing a Cash Money pendant and it don't bling bling? Crazy. Anyway, Wack is saying that Bricc Baby's manipulating Adam. Let's see what's going on here.
Because you were like, man, listen, what? You know, I caught a lot of flack when I first came up here.
Same.
Because you were
the same.
You were like overly protective of Bricc.
Okay.
On some real shit, I could say, I'm like, yo, he really got Bricc back. This was really at, like, when it came to that, I knew, you know, just being who I am and understanding business, I kind of knew how to pipe down and only go so far with that because I knew where you stood with that. Why he start taking shots at you because you on vacation like your vacation wasn't already scheduled before?
God, look at Wack, manipulator. Okay, we see Wack implanting seeds in Adam's mind that Bricc has a hatred for him. I see what you're doing here with your Cash Money pendant that don't bling bling. Okay.
Or probably the feds scheduled to pick him up.
I mean, honestly, we spoke on the phone earlier today, and he said that comment about people having their feet kicked up in the sand while they're on vacation, he said that wasn't for me. Which, having a moment to think about it does seem kind of unlikely, but I'm going to cut him the maximum amount of slack because we had this nice phone call. It's like,
because he saw the way you reacted.
That's the weird thing about me and Bricc is that I feel like I got so much love for him that I kind of...
He showed his hand.
I give him a longer leash than I would give like almost anybody else.
He showed his hand.
Well, but they're also, him and his girl both denying that they even really had a conversation with Sharp. His girl said that she spoke to him briefly, but that it wasn't anything of seriousness. But when Sharp went on his live stream or whatever, keep in mind Sharp is...
For whatever reason, Sharp don't be lying, bro. Sharp really don't be lying. Nobody can say that. You might not like Sharp's opinion, but can anybody say they caught him in a lie?
Essentially a crackhead.
No, I'm not going to let him do that.
What? You don't think Sharp?
No. No.
I mean, there's a point where you drink and smoke enough cigarettes that you become a crackhead without crack.
Listen, because Sharp be thinking up against you.
You can't be a crackhead without crack.
Right. I just called it how I see it. It's one of them things. Bro, Bricc is BSing, talking about he wasn't talking about you. He just saw your reaction, right? He saw your reaction, and he does what he does with everybody. He'll say something on camera, then you get on the phone with him. Man, you know it really wasn't like that. I was just trolling, just content. He got on that phone with Sharp, because I'm going to be real. I was already hearing this thing about his final check. First about the final check.
Okay.
It was all, and I just didn't say nothing because you ain't say it ain't my business.
For the record, he did get his final check.
He was already.
Nobody could ever say that we did not pay him for the time that he put in here.
Before Sharp said any
final check, that's crazy. So Bricc Baby's fired from no jumper. That's what that sounds like.
Thing I'm hearing,
or laid off for whatever,
from a certain young lady that I know his wife is talking to at the time, a complaint about a check.
Oh.
You ain't dumb. You doing the math. So the one other lady I might be talking to periodically that she's talking to, right?
Sharice Mills. Sharice Mills is that's ladies are hard. Don't worry about it. Sharice Mills. We're not gonna. It's too late to be playing investigator private eye.
Because these two people are in the same location. So I'm hearing already some whisper about what you're not doing.
Oh, wait, you're talking to Sharice Mills?
That's a fact.
Okay.
So I'm hearing some whisper about what you're not doing already, right? When it comes to Bricc. So once Sharp said it, I knew they said that to Sharp. Because it was already being whispered about.
You're now making me feel like I got sort of finessed on the phone.
You definitely, that's what Bricc does. You know he does
that. Good, yeah.
He does that with everybody. Woo. Man, you know, I ain't mean nothing. He ain't like that. It's just, that's what he does, right?
Everybody's impersonation of Bricc Baby's funny.
I didn't understand why he was doing it because I'm like, hey, yo, you might need Adam to send a letter in to the court. So you might, you know what I'm saying? Like, you keep a guide in your corner that at least Adam will make sure you got some deodorant and some commissary every month. He that type of dude. Y'all got that type of relationship to where Bro, like, you know what, you need 150 a month, man, to go to the store? Hey, that's big, knowing you got somebody on the street that'll send you 100 a month when you doing time. That makes sure you got lotion, toothpaste, your deodorant, and something to snack on at least, right? Like, why would you burn that bridge like that?
My thing is that regardless of what he may have done or not done, and if he's been upfront with me about certain things, it's like, I can't fully say bon voyage to the Bricc man while he's locked up in prison. It just doesn't feel right. I got.
Shout out to Adam for having a moral compass. All right, that's right, Adam. Shout out to you for having a moral compass. They swear you ain't got.
Gotta hold him down. We can scrap when he gets out. We can address all of our issues.
You can do it how you want to do. I'm gonna say this: Sharp wasn't lying. Because what Sharp said, I was already hearing that he said.
Sharp don't be lying.
The Sharp saying it, so that ain't nothing Sharp gonna lie about anyway. Sharp not just gonna come out and start talking about what you ain't doing for Bricc.
I kind of disagree. I think Sharp talks out of his ass all the time.
No, he would have said, "I bet Adam did."
Nah, Sharp don't be lying, bro. We can't go back and find a time where he's been lying. You might not like what he's saying, but you can't go back and say, here's a lie.
That would have been his conversation.
He's not smart enough
if he was speculating.
Yeah.
I bet Adam did if he was just on one. But him saying Bricc called and I talked to the wife or whatever, and they tell me what's happening with this, what's happening with that. The reason why Bricc thought he can trauma bond with Sharp is why.
Sick.
Sharp played himself out of his last check, which he was paid. He just was paid another way.
Pete, on that dumpster, we sent him an invoice.
You get what I'm saying?
Which, by the way, we're going to f your credit up if you don't pay that invoice.
So you got to understand, he thought, okay, I can call over here with this. He can't call over there to Luce too much because Luce them grinding. They still getting the bag.
Right. You know, he told me earlier on the phone that he tried to get Luce to squabble him 8 different times while behind bars, and that Luce was not having it. And that Luce is now in a separate part of the prison with Dirk. I guess that's where they put the celebrities, like Luce Cannon and Dirk.
So let me get this right.
Right.
Bricc is claiming Luce turned down the fade.
8 times.
That's cap.
You don't believe that?
No.
They were never cellies. Luce was lying about that, I guess.
No, they was both lying about that.
They were playing
that was weird. I mean, I knew they was in the same general area because we can hear them there talking. We knew that. But as far as them being celly, I just think they was in there, hey, man, we're going to run the contest, going to make people talk.
Yeah.
Really, I think...
They got all the time in the world to talk about how to make people talk about them.
Yeah, I think that's what was going on with
them. And they're both so content-brained now.
I don't believe that... For one, I'm going to be real. I don't think Bricc could whoop Luce. I think Bricc will fight Luce. I think Bricc, from listening to Bricc, I think he has some situations going on where fighting is not really too safe for him.
Well, he got shot in the neck, and he can't like ball his fist up as well as he probably would want to. But that's from forever ago. So I mean,
well, whatever's going on with him, I know he has some. And I had to tell myself this, like, Wack, you ever run into him? Dude is not all the way like I know he got the heart to fight, but I know he has. He has some things going on that may hinder.
He's going to always, find a reason and way to throw shots at T-Rail.
Don't turn him into a T-Rail. He ain't a real handicap like T-Rail.
But shit, bro, if you got some movement problems, and I'm going to be real, I wouldn't want to fight Bricc just based upon knowing he got some things, that neck lead to the spine. Yeah. And I'm going to be real, I don't want to be the dude to where a dude can't pick his child up because we had a squabble behind some podcast.
So you don't want to fight him because you're afraid that you will physically destroy him to the extent where he's not able to pick up a 10-pound child.
Yeah,
that's so big of you.
No, for real though, bro. I mean, because it was over some podcast stuff, I don't want to be the one looking up, and he our guy, Superman. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Christopher Reeves.
Yeah,
you turn breaking to Christopher Reeves. Wow.
I wouldn't feel good about, bro. I really wouldn't. Where I'm at mentally, I would not feel good about that.
Right.
And I'm gonna be real. I'm the type of dude that even if he was to come at me, I may tag him up a little bit and say, "Go on, man. Go on about you," because I know if it gets serious, I black out in them fight. We may start fighting over the dice game. But my mind goes to my mama kidnapped my daughter. Everything lies on this fight.
Well, that seems a little extreme.
No, this is,
kind of how far you got to take it.
This is my mental,
right?
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because coming up as a power in the system, and my area wasn't popular. And my area, it's popular now. When you walk
being
in
a
there,
pyro.
you at deep down inside.
I'm essentially like the battered wife who keeps coming back for more from my.
Okay, that's that. Y'all know the deal, man. Be better today than what you were yesterday. Be even better tomorrow. Red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest, and it's free. Avenue Angel 2. He is free. We are